Mystikal, a well-known rapper on the wrong side of the law tonight, his third arrest over the past 2 decades.
Tonight, Mystikal, whose real name is Michael Tyler, is being held without bond at the Ascension Parish Jail.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's KB and we locked in. Now let's jump into it. Today, we're going to be talking about an old school rapper named Mystikal, the serious charges that he's facing in Louisiana, and what the possible outcomes can be. Mystikal, real name Michael Tyler, is a rapper from New Orleans, Louisiana who blessed the rap game back in the day with countless hits. Mystikal grew up in the 12th Ward and had a hard life from the jump. His father died when he was only 7, and on his 24th birthday, Mystikal found his sister Michelle Tyler dead in her bedroom. Her boyfriend was arrested but later acquitted due to lack of evidence and a recanted confession. But if that makes you feel sympathetic towards him, hold it. Because today, we're touching on a topic that melts that sad childhood story away and paints a picture of who this man really is. And your sympathy would be better directed towards his victims. Sunday, July 31st, 2022. Police geared up and got ready to execute an arrest warrant on Retreat Lane in Prairieville, Louisiana. They were looking for none other than Mystikal. The rapper was arrested without incident and booked into the Ascension jail, where he faces some very serious allegations and charges. That's because the night before his arrest on Saturday, July 30th, the rapper allegedly committed several heinous crimes against a woman that he had been having a long-term relationship with. According to police reports and testimony from the victim, a young woman went to the 51-year-old rapper's home to discuss some financial commitments he had previously made to her since they were dating. And once inside of the rapper's home, everything was going as planned as the two talked, but things were about to take a twisted turn for the worse. A few minutes into the conversation, and Mystikal went into the bathroom. When he came out, the woman said he was a completely different person and that his attitude had completely changed. The two got into a heated argument, and Mystikal started accusing the woman of stealing $100 cash, and when she denied the accusation, the rapper started to assault her. First, punching her multiple times, then grabbing her by the hair and ripping her braids out, and finishing the assault by choking her to the point of going in and out of consciousness. When he finally stopped, she said she got up and began frantically searching the house for the missing $100, but was unable to locate it. During the search, Mystikal began to apologize to her, even asking her to pray with him. But in the very next moment, flew off the hinge again, where he would grab a bottle of rubbing alcohol and began to pour it all over her while shouting a prayer and saying that he was trying to cleanse her and remove bad spirits. After this, he confiscated her phone and car keys, effectively making it impossible for her to call for help or to leave. He was still being irate about the missing $100, so she continued to search for it, but still, the $100 couldn't be located. Instead, what she found was a crystalline substance inside one of his dresser drawers, a substance police now know was methamphetamine. At this point, he walks in the room, pushed her on the bed, and forcibly raped her. When he was done, he grabbed her phone and ordered her to send him the $100 through Cash App to replace the missing money, which she was making an attempt to do before he snatched the phone back out of her hand, entered $150, and sent himself the money. He would then give the woman her car keys and phone back and allow her to leave. Once in her car and away from the house, she called one of her friends who agreed to meet her at the Baton Rouge hospital, where she would tell doctors what had happened, file a police report, and have a rape kit performed. The results showed injuries that were consistent with the details of her attack. The next day is when the police executed their arrest warrant at his home, and once inside, they found multiple drugs. This included meth, marijuana, Xanax, heroin, and drug paraphernalia. They also found a few of the braids that he had ripped out of her head during the attack. Mystikal was officially charged with multiple felonies, including first-degree domestic abuse and battery, strangulation and robbery. The 51-year-old was also charged with 2 misdemeanors, false imprisonment, and criminal damage to property worth less than $1,000. Mystikal appeared at a Tuesday hearing in shackles and maintained his innocence, stating that there has never been any history of domestic violence between the two, as if that discounts the events the woman claims took place. His attorney initially asked for $250,000 in bail, but the Louisiana State District Judge denied bond for the rapper, saying that the evidence against him and the accuser's stated fears of what could happen if he was released met the standard for holding him without bail. Plus, the judge looked at the rapper's history and used that as a determining factor. That's because this isn't Mystikal's first run-in with police for these type of crimes. In fact, Mystikal was already a registered sex offender and has to attend meetings twice a month to prevent him from reoffending. What a giant help they've been.
51-year-old Michael Tyler isn't known to many by his real name. His stage name, Mystikal. Tonight, a woman alleges he raped her at his home on Saturday in Prairieville.
How you doing?
I'm good. Oh, Lord.
At the time, he told us he knew how important these checks are, especially when sex offenders are in your neck of the woods.
I have the same fears that most parents have. You know, I don't have no offense against no, young kids and nothing like that. Don't make my offense no better, but still, protect your kids, man. Protect your kids. That's, our kids are the most important thing that we have. Don't do the pity party thing. I have to participate in offender groups and stuff like that twice a month. It don't stop your life, man.
This stems from two different incidents though. First off, in 2004, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to sexual battery. The rapper and his two bodyguards allegedly forced his hairstylist to perform oral on him in return for not turning her into the police because she cashed $80,000 worth of unauthorized checks from his bank account. Mystikal was released in 2010 and had to register as a sex offender in Louisiana, but he found himself back in bars just 2 years later on a domestic abuse battery charge against another partner, violating the terms of his probation, making him lock him back up. That marked the second time he was arrested for this type of foul behavior towards women. Then, in August of 2017, he was charged with a rape and held on $3 million in bond stemming from an alleged sexual assault against a woman at a Shreveport casino. He sat in jail for 18 months for that offense while waiting on the outcome, but these charges were eventually dropped due to insufficient evidence. Regardless of that, this marks the third time he's been arrested on these type of charges. I said it in the Jada Youngin video and I say it in this one. People get arrested all the time when they're innocent, but when it keeps happening repeatedly over and over and over again, chances are where there's smoke, there's fire, you feel me? These are just allegations at this point, but if found guilty, Mystikal will likely be facing life in prison behind these charges. And if you want my opinion, I say, get this guy out of here. I ain't believing you was innocent every single time you been accused. One time is one time too many. 3 times, and I gotta question how the hell you're even walking around a free man, but that's my take on it. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. As always, it's been fun rocking with y'all. I'm out.